So I think the next step is going to be to pull the head. Alright, I'm just disconnecting the wires to the alternator because this guy's got to come off. Unfortunately, there's a lot more things I need to take off than I originally thought. I've already got the fuel lines off from the high pressure side. Got some tape over here just to make sure nothing gets into the injector pump. And it looks like the whole fuel filter, secondary fuel filter here is going to have to come off because there's a bracket that mounts to the head, which is really kind of annoying. I was hoping not to have a huge mess of fuel on my hands, but I guess I can check that fuel filter again in the process. Get this guy off, remove this. Hopefully then I'll be able to start looking at the mounting bolts inside the head. I'm not sure. It says in the manual I gotta take off the bracket that holds the alternator, but that seems strange to me because it's the entire assembly for the cooling, the thermostat here, and our little idiot light that tells us we've overheated. So I'm not sure. I don't really want to take it off because I'm pretty sure by the looks of it there's a bit of a gasket in there holding the water, and I don't want to remove that unless I have to. Alright, we're on to the valve cover now. I've got the thermostat, not the housing, but the cap off. I think in the manual it says to remove the bracket for the alternator and the thermostat housing, but it seems to be all attached to the head, and I don't have the gasket for this. Mind you, I don't have a head gasket either, but we're going to do it one step at a time, and I don't think I need to remove this to remove the head. We also have this bracket that was mounting the fuel filter, the secondary fuel filter, which again I don't think I need to remove. I've got everything disconnected from it. And then last but not least, the exhaust elbow, I've got the hose disconnected from it, so that should be able to come off with the head. So now I'm just going to remove the head gasket. This is kind of the trick, or sorry, remove the valve cover. This is, I guess, the slightly trickier part because I've got to keep everything in order, and I've never messed around in here other than just taking a look before. So we're really making sure to label all the parts. I also forgot to mention there's an oil line on the back side here that I believe brings oil from the bottom of the pan or from the pan up to the top here, and I've already disconnected that because it connects to the head as well. And here is the valve cover. Whoop. So as far as I can tell, these two bolts, one here and one here, will allow me to remove the rocker assembly. Then we have the push rods on this side going into these holes, and our valves on this side. So once I remove the rocker assembly, I'm hoping it's all going to come off in one unit here. Then I should be able to access my 1, 2, and 3 bolts to take off the head. So I should have these 3 bolts, and then 2 more, I believe these 2 here. And I think this is just for the hook, but I'll double check my manual. You got to make sure to go in the opposite order of the tightening order. And I'm hoping, because these are all supposed to be torqued down, I'm hoping I'll be able to do this with my wrench. If not, I might need to get a longer pry bar to remove these. So we should label these. Actually, it looks like there's 8 bolts in total that we need to remove to take off the head of this Yanmar 2GM. There's 2 13mm bolts that are normally the last 2 that you would torque down, but in this case, since we're doing it backwards, they're going to be our first 2 that we loosen off a little bit. And then it's off to 17mm bolts for the other 6. And so this seems to be the ordering. I'm going to show you over here. 8, 7, 13mm, then 6, 5 over here, 4, 3 over here, 2 in the middle, and then one finally right here. So here's number 8. Surprisingly not as tight as I thought. So I'm just gonna loosen it a little bit. 7. All right, now we switch to 17. That's 6. Those ones are harder. Well, I might need a pipe to be able to do that. Back at 6. Jeez. Number 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Seems like it's a little bigger of a nut. So I don't have a rubber mallet, so this is my solution. I've got a bit of rubber and a hammer, and I'm gonna try to tap the rubber against the side of the head and see if we can move it horizontally a little bit, because that's what the manual says, is to try to spin it horizontally. I'm not gonna be able to spin it very much because there's 3 struts sticking out, so that's gonna stop me from spinning it very much at all. But it looks like there's a little bit of space between the strut, and that might just kind of crack the seal and make it easier for it to come off. So let's see if this is gonna work. There's water coming out. I broke the seal, and I guess I forgot to drain the engine beforehand. I thought it wouldn't have any water left in it because it's been a while. But shit, that's not a good thing. Alright, I think crisis averted. Hopefully it didn't flow in the wrong spots. Now I understand why they told me to dismantle the water pump. It's because there's still water inside and I didn't have another way to remove it. So hopefully now this will come up, and hopefully I don't have any gnarly surprises inside. It's still pretty stuck on there actually. Up. Okay, no, the gasket's stuck. Alright. Totally destroyed that gasket. Trying to get it off. So we let some water into the piston by accident. Trying to absorb it so it doesn't cause too much havoc. I think there's water in our oil now too. That was so stupid. Everything was going so well until that happened.
It looks like we were getting some water already right there, because you can see a little bit of the rust. So I think the head gasket was actually broken prior to this whole eventful day.
We might even have a cracked piston, I'm not 100% sure. But it even looks like you could see the intake or exhaust valve where it almost compressed against the thing. So I'm not 100% sure. It looks like this thing's sleeved, which I'm not sure of. The labeler has another job.
I am the saltwater remover, turns out, with paper towel and Q-tips. What a mess though. I'm like so full of oil and I'm starving and I've got to make supper too. That's something else he doesn't say. I'm the cook on the boat.
Anyway, don't worry about it too much. We're gonna have to drain the oil and
yeah,
hopefully we'll get most of the water out in
I
the
got
process.
quite a bit out though.
So it looks like we potentially had water coming in anyway before, because around the head gasket it looks like there was a water seeping in or around the cylinder and getting into the cylinder. Although there wasn't tons of rust inside the cylinder. I'm pretty sure this back cylinder was getting a little bit of water and it was definitely losing some compression. Pretty much destroyed the head gasket trying to get it out. Boo. I mean, I knew I'd have to replace it, but I was hoping not to destroy it completely so I could see exactly where our issues were, but I have a pretty good feeling that a lot of this carbon stuff is making these things not seat quite right. Just putting a little bit of diesel on the valves and about a teaspoon on the cylinders. I should use oil, but diesel is accessible and I'm gonna have to do an oil change anyway. And I mean, it's gonna show more on the valves than it would on the cylinders. I'm just kind of curious if the cylinders absorb the diesel and it leaks down past the rings. Well, I probably have an issue with rings, but for sure it looks like, I thought yesterday I didn't have an issue, but they're already drying out. The exhaust one here is drying out a little bit. Actually, they're all kind of drying out a little bit, so that's telling me that the diesel is passing around them. This one seems to be more full, but I just added a little bit more because it dried out almost immediately. So I'm pretty sure they all need to be relapped or remachined. Trying to carefully remove this. Not that I'll be able to reuse it, but I don't want to scratch the head here at all. So this is a pretty tedious process. The block is cast iron, so I can use metal on it very carefully, but supposedly this won't scratch this. If it was aluminum, it would be a different story. I wouldn't want to use metal on it, but since it's cast iron, I should have no issues as long as I'm not there with a screwdriver or something really digging into it. But what I'm trying to do is keep this blade flat on the head and just gently scraping away the old gasket as well as some of this carbon, but I'm also really trying to make sure I keep it flat and don't dig in the edge, so I just move it back and forth. It also gets rid of the carbon around the piston head. And there's these holes, I've already cleared some of them, but I was told I could gently use a screwdriver, and from what I can tell it's working quite well. And I just make sure not to push it into the head too much. All I'm trying to do is clear these holes a little bit. So where I see some corrosion or extra gunk, I'm basically just very gently giving it a tap and clearing out these holes so that the water will flow a little nicer. As you can see, there's a lot of debris coming out of here. So today's been a day of mostly just scraping carbon off of combustion chambers and the head and the block. And I just started the block and I figured I would get the pistons cleaned up a little bit. And I found the one piston that wasn't holding liquid as well as the other. It has a nice crack in it. So that's a bit disheartening, I guess is the word. Because I thought maybe we'd be able to reseat the valves or get the valves grinded so that they were seating nicely. Because they're not doing that great either. There's liquid passing through them. So that's where we were losing some of our combustion. But since we have a cracked piston, that means we're gonna have to pull the whole engine out and do a lot bigger of a job than I had anticipated. It's a cute little engine though. It's so tiny. Even though I kinda hate it right now because everything's going wrong. And every time we do something or look at something else, there's something else wrong. But it is a cute little engine. Well, this is a slow, tedious process. I've got all the holes, the water jackets, the bolt holes and where the oil goes all filled with rags, so I don't end up with little bits of gasket inside them. I also have some in the cylinders just to make it easier to clean up the cylinders. Slowly scraping the old gasket away, trying to get as little in the holes as possible. Luckily the block is cast iron and not aluminum, or I'd be very nervous about using this scraper. But it's slowly coming off. I've got this section clean and I just have to do all the rest. Clean, smooth. Gasket, not smooth. I also sprayed everything with WD-40, especially the rags, so they pick up the bits a little bit easier. And I think the WD-40 is kind of breaking down the gasket a little bit easier as well.